Namaste, Jai Bharat. When you think about the terrorist activities, and when you come to know more about it, it it makes really me it makes me wonder that what's wrong with these people in the sense that what do they achieve? Is there a single instance of terrorists acquiring anything other than losing themselves? What do they gain? Especially when you see the extent of planning, efforts, energy, money, of course, spent to execute a foolish thing. The only end result is that many people get killed and some properties get destroyed. But that doesn't take them anywhere. This had been the history. If they look at the history, they reach nowhere. Of course, they could get their own people killed. You call them whatever name you feel like, as martyr, whatever, heroes, that's what Pakistan does. That's your choice. But then you get yourselves killed and you kill other people. In the sense, they don't know why they get killed. But then they get killed. Beyond this, what do they achieve is a question which people should think. They don't achieve anything and they have never achieved anything. Why it comes to my mind now is that you see that 26/11 attack on Mumbai, or it's also called as the Bombay Taj Hotel attack, the so-called master brain, the Hafur Hussain Rana, got extradited to Bharat from US. Now, by discussing things with him, let me put it so decently, interrogating him, see, the agencies would interrogate and want to know how these things took place and who were the people behind him. And they heard of him, whatever. There's definitely that Pakistani officials who were behind all these thoughts are disturbed. But there's a terrified lot other than this. They are the Bharatiya people who supported this 26/11 attack explicitly or implicitly. Of course, willingly. If there is someone who happened to support them inadvertently without knowing, that's a different case. That was accidental. If there are, I don't know, I'm just giving an allowance, but there are definitely many who are involved in it, and they'll be terrified. They have to be terrified because they have done such anti-national activity. Given a chance, I would give them capital punishment. Acting against a nation. An enemy, of course, is an enemy, and who would do his job. He has a job, he thinks. And terrorism is a job, he thinks. Okay. But then the person who is with you, who is supposed to be with you, who is supposed to belong to this nation, is helping that enemy. It's nothing new to Bharat. We have stories of Jayachants. Such people should be given capital punishment. That's my personal opinion. There is no law, I know, but should be. Now, why discussing with the Howard Rana? Many things come. No, even at 26/11, things are not so transparent as the media tell us it appears to be. See, look, in a boat, some people come. They get into a village, fishing village of Maharashtra, near Bombay coast. Then they would correctly go to places. They come not empty-handed, they have heavy bags. Or they have to carry their arms and ammunition. They had been. And who would arrange transport for them? They do not know the terrain. They are actually victims. Actually, these terrorists who came to Bharat are actually victims. They are pawns, remotely controlled and programmed by some other people. One such person is this Hafur Hussein Rana, one such person. There are many. Now, if you look at the Howard Rana's history, he is a medical student. In medical school, he had a classmate, Gilani, Dawood Gilani, who's David, some Headley something name, English name he uses, Christian name he uses. Otherwise, this is Dawood Gilani. Dawood is also a Jewish name. David is Dawood. They were classmates, schoolmates in military schools. And then Dawood Rana goes to medical school. He becomes a medical graduate and he joins the Pakistan Army. And of course, a medical graduate who joins the army is given a captain's rank in many places, in our nation also. Of course, if he studies in the army medical colleges, then he would not be given a captain rank instantly. He would be only made as a lieutenant, lieutenant, one rank down, because he studied at the expense of the army. And there's a culture in the Pakistan army. They select officers and depute them. This word you should be remembering. Depute them to Lashkar-e-Tayyiba. It means Lashkar-e-Tayyiba is effectively run by the Pakistan army. They sent their officers on deputation, and then these people on deputation to terrorism. Just look at the concept of deputation to terrorist organizations from a regular army. Just look at the extent of filth these people spread in the world. He was in deputation, and then of course this entire programming. I would sum up. I won't take time. First of all, their transportations were facilitated. Everything was facilitated. Now our surveillance, air surveillance, whatever it is, had observed a moving target towards Bharat's coast, and then they were instructed from above to ignore that. How, why, who? Then when the attack was taking place, there were many security agencies apart from the army, navy and the air force in Mumbai who were not alerted, who were not told. Number 2. Number 3, NSG commanders were asked to move from Delhi to Mumbai, and they reached the technical area of the airport. They boarded the aircraft and they had to sit in the aircraft for 4.5 hours because they were instructed that the minister is going to accompany them. Which minister accompanies Fauj to the action field? A field where the action takes place. Which minister accompanies? And he was asked to wait for, and then 4.5 hours the commanders had to wait in the aircraft. As per the report I hear, I have not seen it. As per the reports I get. Then it seems, then they asked probably that why is he getting delayed. Then he was given the answer, Mantriji Sora, ministry is asleep. Then he got up from his sleep. Then it took time to dress. Then above all, when he reached the tarmac technical area, he demanded a guard of honor. Well, was given. Then, after all this, very late, they were taken off. Who does this? Why this delay? Why is this not conspiracy? You have to think. Then, another thing. A day before, the Interior Ministry, that's like Home Ministry of Pakistan, invited selected people from our Interior Ministry, that's our Home Ministry, for a discussion, and then took them to a different place for a treat. And that place, they delayed the delegation people, and there were people wanted, unwanted, everyone in the group. They took them to a different place, supposed to be a better geographical situation where They wanted to give them a treat, big treat, international level treat, diplomatic level treat. But 2 days prior to that, their entire communication in that area was down. It means those who went for the treat will have no idea what's happening in Bharat, or many secretaries, officials. They went for treat, and then further they were delayed a day more for the 26, that's before 26, for 26/11 to take place. Some must have known this, some must have not known, but they did not officially. Our Home Ministry officers did not know what's happening. They were not given information because they could not contact. All communications were down in that area, naturally in capital letters, quote unquote. Then the Home Minister, who performed through sleep and guard of honor and delayed, and his commanders resigns. Then another person comes who prepares a dossier where none of the terrorists' name was mentioned properly, and the names were mentioned of people who were already in jail. So the dossier gets null and void, fabricated. So it's treated as untruth. That way, the whole episode was sidelined, hushed up. Now, why this thing was done? Who is so against the nation within our nation? There are people, whatever may be the politics, whatever may be whatever, but these people, they acted against their own society, their own nation, their own Sanskriti, and their own everything for whatever reasons. Whatever reasons. Someone wants everything, someone wants to become something at any cost. He doesn't bother, he doesn't care what happens to anybody else. So many innocent people were killed at the fancy. So much of preparation, so much of operations, so much of planning, so much of getting people involved for the 26/11 incident. Indiscriminately people went firing, and those who involved are pawns. They were just carrying out instructions given to them. With all that, did Pakistan move a millimeter forward in some direction which they wanted? No. Rather, they have received setback. They had to go back. Then series of blasts took place in Mumbai, and so many attacks. And this person, the Rana, had gone to different parts of Bharat, stayed there. And when he went to Kochi, the earth must be having several plans one after another of blasts, or attacks like that. And it seems there was a woman with him, only in Kochi and in not other places where he visited. Who is this woman? She is a South Indian, it seems. Who are they? These things should be investigated. I don't want to know who they are, but the agency should know. And whosoever is taken to be task should be taken to task. Those who deserve punishment should be punished in whichever manner you want. Through a long legal procedures of court is one thing, or do whatever. They don't deserve to exist. Should be given treatment. And the politicians who did this, I don't know how people should treat, but should treat them in a deserving manner. So the point is, finally everything gets boiled down to one point, that with all these things, what anyone achieves. Okay, those traitors within our nation who supported this kind of thing must have got money, must have plenty of money, and must have bought land and properties in different places like the Pakistani generals normally do, and then shift to that place and thinking that they would live comfortably. But I don't think anyone can live comfortably in such manner. The generations will suffocate in their own waste. the generations will continue to suffocate in their own waste. And these people, having done all such atrocities in their lifetime, goes to spend their life with monetary support, luxury of that money can buy in an alien land, and then shall become alienated. Death is a certainty for everyone. If there is no death, then people will go fearless. They won't bother. But with this certainty of death in front of you, why people do all those things? See, don't you have a common sense understanding that by the time you leave this place after doing all these atrocities and amassing money and go to a place where you wish to live peacefully, rather comfortably in your own terms? I don't know these people understand what peace is. Will their body, age, support their ambitions? No. No. By the time they become too old to do anything which they fancied in their younger days, then what's the point of doing all this, running all this race? Takes you to nowhere. Takes you nowhere, and you achieve nothing. On whatever you think you achieve of yourself, your children are going to destroy them. And the children are going to destroy themselves. This we call, the Hindus call this karma. And I don't think anyone has ever escaped karma, the karmic laws. Whether it is there or not, I don't know, but this happens. As you do, you get it. What was the point of making all this risk, taking all these risks, instead of living comfortably in good understanding with others and living peacefully and doing proper positive things? I am sure that you won't have a peaceful sleep. Whosoever was behind it, in whichever manner, whosoever thinks he is big. So no one is big than anything. No one is bigger than anything. What's the difference between anyone and anyone? Finally, it all boils down to this in front of death in capital letters. You have to die, and you die with satisfaction or die with disgust, die with remorse that you wasted your life. And whatever atrocities you did in your life to acquire money, property, wealth in whichever manner, is not going to help you. Rather, it's going to destroy your next generations. You pick up the examples of anyone who went out of the way to amass wealth in unnatural way, through whatever means unnatural, through unethical or dharmic in our concept. You find the children not reaching anywhere, either dying untimely death, or suffering, or getting born as nitwits, idiots, incapable fellows, something of this sort. They achieve nothing, and this precisely is the case with any terrorist who so enthusiastically go doing things. Either he dies in between, or he suffers in the long run. So the How Rana's investigation reveals a lot of stories about the people who helped them in our nation. Without such help, these people can't even go 200 yards forward because they don't know the terrain. They don't know where they are. Some people must be facilitating their movements and taking care of things and giving them instructions continuously. So this did happen. And now with the help of this man, this army person turned into Lashkar-e-Taiba on deputation, from him we can do, we means those who are concerned shall know considerable extent of truths, lies, deceit which others spread. We don't want to know, we would not know it also. The public domain we don't want to know, but the concerned authority should know and act, and we don't want to know what happened also. We just trust in karma. Jaise karni vaise bharni. Let's trust in karma. They are asking for things and they should get it. So we shall meet again with some other thought. Till then, Namaste, Jai Bharat, Jai Shri Ram.